Good afternoon. Being last is somewhat of a blessing, but also so much has been covered and so many great ideas have already been expounded on. I want to try to address our particular point of view when it comes to walking with giants. The imagery of giant is somewhat problematic in some ways. Here we go. You know, you have to keep pace. That's the fundamental thing, and that's always been a reality in any business or any human activity. And in the case of giants, don't get trampled. And we see that in the ability to innovate, the ability to offer these mega packages or force upon the marketplace these mega packages. And in the midst of all that, as the publishing division of a professional association, we have another constituency that we have to take care of, and it's our membership. So we have both a commercial, broader market responsibility, but also the need to provide for the members who look upon their association as a resource that it should be. The advantage of being in a subspecialty is we have a confined and defined marketplace. We are unique in content, so that protects us a little bit from outside influences, but not that much so. There's no preserve in publishing or information dissemination. If you do leave a window of opportunity, someone will jump in and offer either a better product, deeper content, an easier accessible content, or a better solution. So what we've found out is that, in fact, what you work on to inform your authors, what you work on to inform the marketplace or to extend the reach in the marketplace of your intellectual property, when properly sort of funneled back, informs also your marketing, your messaging, and how you present your product to the marketplace. And that becomes, or has a built-in snowball effect. Because comments from the outside, or as I'll discuss later on, altmetric metrics, speak louder than any marketing piece the marketing department could write. They represent the market's reaction and reception to the intellectual property that's been created. And that is a far cry from any kind of laudatory comment a marketing piece will try to put together and say, please buy me, please buy me. I really want to concentrate on a platform or a service that we have that's called Psychiatry Online. It's composed of our journals, our books, and what is de facto a database, the DSM-5, the reference manual for mental disorders. They are all component and have a life of their own with their own promotion and marketing and activities within our publishing division. But they all come together to provide what I call a service, or more importantly, probably a solution for the end user, whether that end user may be a student, a practitioner, a researcher, an institution, a hospital. It doesn't matter if they're involved in one form or another in delivering or in support of mental health. This is a tool for them. It helps them in their everyday practice or in their everyday research. So I'm really going to talk about the platform itself and not the individual components so much. Evidently, beyond the great leaps and bounds of technology and the ability to deliver in various formats and in various more user-receptive composition, a lot of the everyday reality of what publishing has always been about remains. I mean, we continue to do on an ongoing basis promotion. It's continuous. It's now in print and electronic form. It's more customized. It's more tailored. The more granular information we have on our end user, the more tailored the information we send them, so that we don't approach them in a shotgun approach. We should approach them really in a rifle approach, so we know what their subspecialty is, what their particular area of interest. Usage informs how we communicate with them. If we see them repeatedly going and looking into bipolar issues, that's something we will try to keep them more continuously informed about. And that eliminates a little bit the clutter at their end, because all of our customers or readers are bombarded with information. And the one element that they do not have that would help us is they don't have time. And we have to find, when we do get their eyeball or their attention, we have to find the optimal usage of that very privileged moment where they give us part of their precious commodity, their time, to communicate to them why they should be considering some of the things we're doing to help them or to enable them to pass the board or to, God forbid, save a patient. And it is important. So awareness is something also that is a flip side of what I would describe as promotion in general. But often when you come to specialty publishing, you're not really promoting. It would be presumptuous for me to go to a guy who's gone through 15 years of medical school and residency and try to convince him to buy something of mine. I have to make him aware of what we have and why I think it's relevant that I'm presenting it to him. But the final decision is theirs. And if I tried any further, they'd look at me and say, Sonny, leave me alone here. Discoverability, a more recent word in marketing, and really it's a combination of promotion and awareness, but in a different medium or through different methods. And it's making sure that when people are looking for that solution that they need right there for whatever subject matter they're looking at, you pop up in the search results, you pop up in the references that they should be looking at, you are part of the search engines. If you're not there, you're invisible. And if you're not visible, then you're sure not playing with giants. You're on your own. It's true in domestic and international, although psychiatry is a very socio-culturally linked specialty and subspecialty in medicine. American psychiatry has a leading role in many areas, in some cases positive or negative. There are various approaches to that. But I don't see anyone concentrating solely on domestic. I don't think it makes sense. The cultural reach of what we do, what universities do, is in the U.S. is immense. The prestige and the brand name identifications of some of these institutions are incredible, and to not leverage that automatically internationally doesn't make sense to me. Also, what we've found is that we've expanded and this has been a recent element. We've expanded beyond psychiatry to really discuss mental health. It used to be, and 4 to 5 years ago, we were by psychiatrists, for psychiatrists. We're finding ourselves now being approached by a large constituency of people, from support group members, family members, mothers, fathers, who want to be more in control and understanding of what their sibling or their child is going through and want to be informed in a very professional sense. And we also find that there's a growing ease or readiness to talk about mental health in the U.S., which brings about a lot of new players that we never would have considered putting in our promotional and awareness loop. And that includes now community colleges that are offering certificated diplomas for support personnel in mental health. And this is relatively new, and we have to make sure that the messaging that goes out from us is not some kind of watered down version of what we do, but something really tailored to the specific segmented needs, possibly, of these new professionals that are going to be filling different roles. The worst thing to do is think that you can simplify. They don't need simplification. They want the facts, the real facts, and nothing but the facts. They just want it in something that contextual to their pursuit, whether it's a certificate or a college degree. We do through all channels. That is ongoing. The methods to reach those individuals is changing, and technology is helping us there also. But we have a constituency and a customer that is broadband. It's the institution itself, the librarians, the administrators. In the academic environment, is instructors, students, and researchers. And evidently, the practitioner in private or in institution-based groups are key constituents of ours. And industry. I seek out, because I oversee also advertising revenue, and I have no qualm seeking out advertising from pharma industry if that serves the purpose of us putting out better and broader-based product supported by some of the funding I get there. So if you find outsiders who have a mission statement that parallels yours, and as long as they have no right to infringe on your editorial content, pursue them if it doesn't put you in an ethical quandary. We sometimes have a hard time getting customers that have either the money or the readiness to pay for the product we have. If we can find ways of getting it to them where they don't have to go through that burden of beer or a book, let's do it. Now, internally within the service that we have, that's a continuously dynamic content because we are attentive to our users, whether the users be the librarian at the institution, the head of department, the student. They come to us and are pretty clear as what they want. Some of the time we can't deliver. Some of the time we incorporate it in our development plans. And in some cases we're at a loss on how we can meet their needs right now, but we slot it as something to look into the future. And in the case of DSM, which is a book, but by definition it's a reference book, but it's really a database. What became important is that we have the ability to allow the user to track what has changed from the time the original edition came out to what they're reading now. So through a collaboration with our platform, Adapon and the Letter Atom platform, we were able to devise an elegant solution to that, where we'd highlight a passage that's been affected over the time. And for the user, the clinician doesn't want to use or has no usage for that change, they can turn it off. But for researchers, academics, and people who have an interest in the shifting ways how a mental disorder is handled, it's an important sort of contextual piece of information that can help them in diagnosis and in other places. So if you hover over, a box pops up and shows you exactly what has changed, when it changed, what was removed, what was added. Simple, but very effective in using this information, this editorial content, to the ultimate of what it can be used at. And it's with very positive reaction from our subscriber base. We also have developed the capability of creating what we call a microsite, which is a site somewhat removed from the everyday flow of this service, but allows us to concentrate on a particular topic. Now, that topic can be driven by an event, and unfortunately in the US we have a lot of these events, mass shootings and things like that. So we created one based on a book we put out, which was Gun Violence and Mental Health. And that became a live, dynamic product with links to TV interviews and things like that. So in one place, someone can really upload their own database on a particular subject. And we're looking at doing that for various disorders. In particular, the one that's popping up a lot on opioids and the drug issue. So let me quickly go on. Now, our authors and our editors receive a huge amount of statistics. They have and always do on a monthly basis, so they know exactly how their journal, their handling is doing, what articles have done well and whatever. And where we've had really a new window is including now in the standard package they get the altmetric scores. And that has been an eye-opener for a lot of these, very concentrated researchers, but they suddenly see that an article like this one has 117 news, that for them that's what? So we're finding this to be a validator of editorial choices, an indicator of possible future directions when looking at what kind of articles published. But we also have that looped back into our messaging out to our customers. We highlight the fact that these are metrics that they should be looking at in the interest of their own constituencies, and that it is now part and parcel of what they can see and they can look through our publications. We've introduced another tool, the TrendMD metrics, and that basically provides recommendations. The top 3 are from our own intellectual properties on the site, and the bottom 3 are from others. And that cross-pollination has extended the reach of our publication, and we've seen visits from places we never would have imagined. I mean, really surprising place. An article picked up a huge amount of interest in the Middle East, and we couldn't figure out why, and then researchers there put the context to us, and we saw why it was there. So the road forward, we're continuously launching new products. Now, new products can have a variety of meanings, but the new products we've just recently launched is a collection of psychotherapy titles to extend the reach of our service to the non-medical academic environment. And am I done? Okay. Partnerships is a big way to go forward. I'm a great opponent to trying to reinventing the wheel. If someone has a good wheel, I'll stick that one on my machine. The intent of all this is also to provide ongoing research and new therapies that's essential for the service we provide to the specialty and to our members. We're incorporating more and more video. Video works perfectly in a psychiatric or mental health setting. You see that aha moment when the practitioner and the patient get that bridge and start really addressing the issue. And that's part of our role to continue to maintain leadership in psychiatric publishing. So we do it through, we're going now more and more to primary care, the first wave of people that have to handle the issues. We're going directly to patients because they want to be participants in what's happening to them. And we're going internationally. We're translating, a lot of our books are more and more translated around the world, and we push actively for that. So, a glimpse, and that's it.